Now, the Australian government has rejected claims that Novak Djokovic is a prisoner in the country and says that tennis superstar can leave at any time of his choosing. Support is growing now for the world number one, with fellow tennis players slamming his detention pending a court hearing. Now, in the latest, Djokovic has thanked his fans on his Instagram page. His post says, and I quote, "Thank you to people around the world for your continuous support. I can feel it and it is greatly appreciated," unquote. Fans have been gathering outside Djokovic's isolation centre since 24 hours, cheering and supporting their favourite player. Pictures have emerged from inside the Park Hotel, which serves as a detention centre for Australia's border force. The hotel is located in a Melbourne suburbs and also houses asylum seekers with the windows locked to prevent any escape attempt. Djokovic's fans and anti-vaccine protesters continue to assemble outside the hotel with message of support. Now, the 20-time Grand Slam winner's mother had alleged on Thursday that the conditions in the room were terrible. Listen in.
His accommodation?
Yes.
Terrible. Terrible accommodation. It's just some small immigration hotel, as we can, if it's hotel at all, with some bugs, it's so dirty and the food is so terrible. So what can I say? They don't want to give him any chance to move on to some better hotel or house that he already rented. But we hope we will manage somehow.
Now, those comments were contradicted by Australia's Federal Home Affairs Minister Karen Andrews. The unvaccinated Djokovic flew down to Melbourne on Wednesday after receiving a medical exemption against the need to be vaccinated against COVID-19. Now, his visa was revoked by border officials and only a late legal challenge against his deportation saw him stay on in the country, at least till Monday when the hearing is scheduled. Djokovic is being seen as a tussle between the federal government and the state of Victoria, which hosts the first tennis Grand Slam of the season in partnership with Tennis Australia.
An exemption by the Victorian government to play tennis in Victoria is entirely different to any exemption or entry requirement for Australia's purposes. So I actually cannot provide any more detail than is currently in the media at the moment in relation to any action that the Victorian government might have taken or Tennis Australia. What I can tell you about is what the federal government is entirely responsible for, and that is the issuing of visas. That is our responsibility, and it is the first part of effectively, in simple terms, a two-part process to enter Australia.
Now, Djokovic's detention is affecting the diplomatic relations between Serbia and Australia. Djokovic is Serbia's greatest ambassador and a global icon. Supporters gathered outside the Serbian parliament to protest his treatment, with members of Djokovic's family urging them to rally behind their hero. Now, Djokovic's wife, Jelena, used social media to thank those protesting his detention. Serbian President Alexander Vučić has accused Australia of political persecution. Listen in.
Our foreign ministry will do everything. We are active on the issue. Our Prime Minister is talking to a woman at the Home Affairs. This lady is the one who is making decisions. What's not fair is this political persecution that everyone is taking part in, even the Australian Prime Minister.
Djokovic's better Norin Nick Kyrgios has come out in his support. The Australian has been a vocal critic of Djokovic's leadership of the sport in the past, but has questioned his country's handling of the situation. American John Einer, who is already in Australia, also backed Djokovic and reiterated that the world number one had followed the rules laid down by Tennis Australia and committed no crime. The Professional Tennis Players Association, founded by Djokovic, have verified his well-being following phone conversations. Listen in.
To judge anything, because I don't have, we all don't have the full information about his case, and it's difficult to constructively say something objectively. And the Australian government should have or should have not, decided that's earlier or not. That's on their own, their own decision. But looking at the situation, it's definitely incredible that this happened the way it did, especially to Novak, that he got here, that this is still going on. So definitely feeling very sorry for him, and hope that this is going to be resolved very soon.